It was October 1997 in New Orleans. At exactly 2:13 a.m., an emergency dispatcher received a call that broke protocol. Instead of a plea for help, a terrified man whispered just 4 words before the line went dead. He keeps them frozen. Tracing the call led officers to an abandoned apartment complex near the industrial docks. Given the bizarre message, dispatched units expected to be dealing with a drunk prankster, but stepping through the door immediately proved them wrong. The air inside the apartment carried a jarring mix of scents: heavy industrial bleach layered over the distinct smell of rotting meat. The environment was heavily controlled. Every piece of furniture was draped in plastic sheeting, and every single window had been sealed shut from the inside, ensuring that no scent could escape and no one from the outside could look in. Then the officers reached the kitchen. Sitting in the center was an old industrial chest freezer. It was tightly secured with heavy metal chains and locked with a thick padlock. A detective grabbed bolt cutters to snap the lock. The moment the heavy lid was lifted, the stench hit so hard that several officers physically stumbled backward out of the room. Inside the freezer, human body parts were carefully stacked. They were meticulously wrapped in layers of newspaper, and each individual package was marked with a date in thick black marker. Some of these packages were months old, others were entirely fresh. Those dates confirmed the scale of the threat. The officers had uncovered an ongoing, highly organized slaughterhouse. As investigators processed the remains, they looked toward the wall directly above the freezer. Investigators found dozens of candid photographs covering the stained wallpaper. Every picture captured an unaware citizen. Some were shot through apartment windows, others from across busy restaurants, and some were taken from deep inside private bedrooms while the subjects were sleeping. This unknown suspect, quickly dubbed the Icebox Killer by the local news, had been actively tracking targets across the city for years. He had walked among them, watching, undetected. He operated as an invisible part of the city's daily routine, perfectly camouflaged until the moment he decided to strike. Searching deeper into the apartment, the police pried up loose floorboards and found a stash of hidden audio tapes. They contained hours of the killer calmly speaking to himself. In the earliest recordings, his tone is strikingly normal. He sounds composed, quiet, and highly rational as he logs his daily routines. But as the investigators listen through the chronologically ordered tapes, that composure degrades. His voice grows strained, unstable, and deeply obsessive. Then, on one of the final tapes, he states exactly how he chooses his targets. "I don't hunt bad people. I hunt lonely people. Nobody looks for them quickly." Forensics finally pulled a viable fingerprint from the scene, matching it to a local maintenance worker named Daniel Cross. Neighbors knew him as a quiet man who repaired commercial refrigerators, always wore thick gloves, and rarely left his house before sunset. When tactical teams raided his work garage, they found 7 more industrial freezers. Inside each lid was a handwritten note bearing a name, a date, and the words, "Not ready yet." Cross had already selected his next 7 victims. Despite a massive manhunt, Daniel Cross vanished. There was zero bank activity, no reported sightings, and no trace left behind. It felt as if he disappeared into thin air. Fear gripped the region. Hardware stores sold out of locks and security cameras in a matter of days, and local radio stations continuously broadcast warnings for citizens to report any suspicious vans or maintenance workers. 3 weeks later, a long-haul truck driver pulled into a quiet, late-night roadside diner just outside the Louisiana border. Sitting alone in a corner booth was a man wearing thick black gloves, despite the warm weather outside. Resting directly on the table next to him is a small portable cooler. The truck driver noted something deeply unsettling about the stranger. Before leaving, the stranger looked directly at the driver and smiled. Then he said quietly, "Cold keeps things fresh." By the time authorities responded to the driver's emergency call, the man was gone, but he left the cooler sitting in the booth. Inside it was a photograph of the truck driver taken earlier that same night from outside the diner window. Daniel Cross was never officially captured. To this day, crime communities speculate that somewhere an old freezer still hums in the dark, monitored by a man who understands exactly who society will notice too late.